Welcome there, my viewers. This is Njoroge Moses. Today I have a tutorial video I want to show you on how to solve a 4x4 Rubik's Revenge. I've bought this from Miniso and it's a 4x4 Rubik's Cube. I want to show you how to solve this 4x4 Rubik's Revenge. But before I do this, I want you to familiarize yourself with how to solve a 3x3 Rubik's Cube, because some of the skills that we shall use to solve a 3x3 are the same skills we shall use to solve a 4x4 Rubik's Cube. So I'm going to do a small brush up tutorial on how to solve a 3x3 Rubik's Cube, and then I show you how to solve a 4x4 Rubik's Cube. If you are okay with the 3x3, just check below this video. You will see a link on how I have shown you how to solve a 4x4 Rubik's Cube. Welcome. So this is the 3x3 Rubik's Cube. I'm going to scramble it up and then I'm going to put it together so that you can learn the moves and the steps that I'm using. So let me scramble it up and then we solve it. So there we have my Rubik's Cube is scrambled up. So I want to show you how to solve it. But before I solve this 3x3 Rubik's Cube, let me first of all mention some few things. The 3x3 Rubik's Cube has a fixed centerpiece. This is a fixed centerpiece. This is an orange centerpiece. And also something else, it has these ones that have three colors. These ones are known as the corner pieces. And these ones that have two colors are the edge pieces. Another thing you need to know about the 3x3 Rubik's Cube is that the blue centerpiece is always opposite to the green centerpiece on this other side. The yellow centerpiece is opposite to the white centerpiece, and then we have the red centerpiece is opposite to the orange centerpiece. I'm going to use the beginner's method to show you how to solve this 3x3 Rubik's Cube. When I'm using the beginner's method in solving the 3x3 Rubik's Cube, you start by forming a cross on the top face. If I choose to start with this red centerpiece, I'm going to form a red cross over here, or I'm going to start with this one, I'm going to form a yellow cross. So you pick whichever you're comfortable with and then you start from there. So in most cases people start with a white cross, so I'm going to start by forming a white cross over here. Now to form a white cross, for example, if this is an orange centerpiece here, I have to ensure that I have an orange and a white piece like this one at the bottom, such that if I do a forward, then I do another forward, it will come from the bottom to the top, and I'm going to pair this white centerpiece with this white edge piece over here. So I do the same for the other pieces. If you realize I have a green here and I have a white, I can do a forward like that, and this piece is going to be oriented. So I do like that for these other remaining pieces, and then I will have formed a white cross over here. So I continue, I've formed this, I've aligned this orange with its constituent orange and this green with its constituent green. So the opposite of green here I have, it's a blue. So I check where I'll have a blue here and a white at the bottom. So I see I have a blue and a white at the bottom. I rotate this, I do a down. So it is aligned there, then I do a forward like that. I've joined that one. So the other remaining piece is now this one, which is red and a white. I check where I have my red and white. I see it's here, but it is inverted in the wrong direction. So I just need to do a few more steps so that I can flip this one. I can do like that, and then I bring it down like that. I return that over there. This one I have to return it back to where it was so that I don't mess. So here it is already flipped. Then I do a forward inverted. And when you check your top face, you'll have formed the white cross, and that's how you form the first step, doing the white cross. Now once you've formed the white cross, now you have to align the corner pieces together. You place them in their correct position. Now how do you determine the correct position? You'll be guided by the center pieces in the front faces and on the left faces or in the right face over here. So for example, this corner piece I know is in the wrong position because this is green and this is red and this is orange and this is green. So this corner piece is in the wrong position. So I first of all check, for example, this corner piece over here, this is a white, red, and blue. So I know that this white has to come here on top, and this red will be aligned with this red over here. So it's very simple to do that. I remove it from this right face. I remove it like that, and then I do a right inverted, and then I do a down inverted, and then I do a right like that. Once I do that, I will have aligned this corner piece with this one, and this blue corner piece with this one. So I do the same for all the other corner pieces, and then shall have aligned these corner pieces. So I check which one I can use. I don't have any that I can use, but this one I can do down like that, like that, like that. So I have a green and a red. I know blue is opposite of green, so it's supposed to come on this other side. I take it the other side like that. So it's supposed to be here. So it's supposed to come here on top. So I remove it from this face by doing like that, and then I do that like that, and like that. I will have brought it in the correct place. So I have this blue and orange. Blue and orange has to come here. It's very simple. I do a left, then I do a down like that, and then I do a left inverted. I will have aligned this and that one. So I'm remaining with this corner piece, this last corner piece. This corner piece is supposed to come here on top. I do a down inverted, then I do a left, then I do a down, and then I do a left inverted. And you'll realize you'll have solved the first layer of your Rubik's Cube. Now, once you have solved the first layer of your Rubik's Cube, you flip it so that the top layer now becomes the bottom layer. Now the next thing you do is that you check for a non-yellow edge piece. For example, this is a non-yellow, this is a red and a blue, or I can also use this green and red. Now I need to align, for example, this edge piece to its correct position. So this green, I take it to its green center piece. So my green is on this side, so I bring it over there like that. So I'm going to perform this algorithm because I want to substitute this edge piece. I want to substitute this edge piece with this edge piece. So in other words, my front face is moving in an anti-clockwise direction like that, such that this edge piece will move from here to here. So this is the algorithm I'm going to perform. While holding the front face like this, or the front face facing you, you're going to perform this one. You're going to do an up inverted, then you do a left inverted, then you do an up, then you do a left, then you do an up like that, and then you do a forward, and then you do an up inverted like that, and then you do a forward inverted. So that's the algorithm that you perform. I've moved it, it was here and it has come over there. So you see I have aligned this centerpiece with the green, and this red centerpiece, I have aligned it with that one. So that's the algorithm you perform when you're moving this front face in an anti-clockwise direction. So let me show you when you're moving it from this side to this side. So let me check for which one is suitable. Now, this is the second algorithm that you're going to perform when I want to move this edge piece from here and substitute it with this one. So I'm moving it in the clockwise direction. Remember the other one, I was moving it in the anti-clockwise direction. Now this one, I'm moving in the clockwise direction. So you're going to perform this algorithm. When you're holding your cube like this, you're going to do an up, then you do a right, then you do an up inverted, right inverted, up inverted, forward inverted, then you do an up, and then you do a forward. You'll realize you'll have aligned this edge piece with the correct center piece over here, and you have aligned this blue with this correct center piece over here. So that's the algorithm you perform when you're moving it in a clockwise direction. So those algorithms are very useful when you're solving this second layer. So depending on how you're moving it, if you're moving it to the from this side to this side, you perform that first algorithm. When you're moving it from this side to this side, you perform the second algorithm, which has happened to be the fourth step when I was solving it. So that's how you solve for the second layer. Once you have solved the first layer and the second layer, now we go to the third layer. Now in the third layer, there are three scenarios that you're going to have. The first scenario is where you have only a single yellow piece here at the top. That's the first scenario you can have. The second scenario you can have is where you have this L-shaped, like the one you're seeing here, this L-shaped letter yellow. Or you can have another scenario where you have a straight line, which is a yellow line formed on the top face. Now when you have, for example, the single yellow centerpiece here, there is an algorithm that you're going to perform so that you make a cross here. You make a yellow cross. But now we have this L-shaped. So let me show you the algorithm that you're going to perform when you have this L-shaped. Now the first thing you need to realize when you're solving this, ensure that the L is facing away from you in that direction. Don't put it like this, but put it in this manner like this. And now perform this algorithm so that you can have a yellow cross. While holding the cube like this, you do a forward, like that. You do an up, then you do a right, then you do an up inverted, you do a right inverted, then you do a forward inverted. And when you check, you're going to have a yellow cross formed over there. So that's how you solve for that when you have an L shaped. Now when you have a yellow cross on the top face, again there are three scenarios you can have. And the first scenario is like this one that you're seeing here, where you have no yellow corner piece on the top face. The second scenario is where you have only one yellow corner piece on the top face. And the other scenario is where you have more than two corner pieces are yellow. Now, when you don't have any yellow corner piece which is yellow, you first of all ensure that you have a left corner piece which is yellow so that you perform this algorithm. So I'm going to orient my cube in this manner such that I have a yellow corner piece on my left face over here, and then I hold my cube like this, and then I perform this algorithm 2 or 3 times while I'm orienting my cube. So I'm going to do a right, then you do an up, you do a right inverted, you do an up, then you do a right, then you do an up, then you do an up, and then you do a right like that. So once you do that, you'll realize you'll have flipped one corner cube, which is yellow, and then you hold your cube in this manner where you have this second scenario. This one you have, this is a yellow corner piece here on top, and then you perform the same algorithm again. So you're going to do a right, you do an up, then you do a right inverted, you do an up, then you do a right, and then you do an up, then you do an up, and then you do a right inverted. And now you will see all of them are going to be flipped, and are going to have a top face which is all complete yellow. Once you have now flipped the corner pieces and they're on the top face, now I need to align these corner pieces in their correct position. This is what I mean. For example, this is an orange and this is a green, so this corner piece is not in it's not in its correct position. So I check, for example, this is a red and a red. If I bring it on this opposite side, you will realize that this red is aligned to this centerpiece, and this red is aligned to this centerpiece, this green is aligned to this green centerpiece, and this blue is aligned to its correct centerpiece. So these two are in their correct position. When I come check these other two, these two are not in their correct position. So I'm going to flip this corner piece and remove it from here and bring it here, and this one I'm going to remove it from here and bring it here. And now this is the algorithm I'm going to perform. Now this algorithm is the same algorithm I'm going to use when I'm solving for the 4x4 Rubik's Revenge, while holding a cube in this manner such that the correct corner pieces are at the back and the ones that are in the wrong position in the front face. You perform this algorithm. You're going to do a right inverted like that, then you do a forward, then you do a right inverted, then you do a back, then you do a right, then you do a forward inverted, then you do a right inverted, then you do a back, back, then you do a right, right, then you do an up inverted like that. And when you check your cube, you will realize all the corner pieces now are in their correct position like that. Now we have managed to align the corner pieces. They're in their correct position. The corner pieces are now in their correct position. Now the final step now in solving the Rubik's Cube is aligning these edge pieces. We want to make them to be in their correct position. Now the first thing you do, you ensure you have only one piece that is in its correct position. For example, in my case, you realize this blue edge piece is in its correct position over here. And these corner pieces already we have solved, they're in their correct position. Now, while the correct piece is facing you at the back, you check in which direction you have to move the other edge pieces. This is what I mean. In my case, for example, this is an orange edge piece. I have to move it in an anti-clockwise direction such that this edge piece will come over here and this green edge piece will come over here. So I'm going to move it in an anti-clockwise direction. And this is the algorithm that I'm going to perform when I'm moving this top face in an anti-clockwise direction. So by holding the cube like this, I perform this algorithm. I do a forward, then I do an up inverted like that, and then I do a left, and then I do a right inverted. I do a forward, then I do a left inverted, then I do a right, then I do an up inverted, and then I do a forward. So once you do that algorithm, you'll realize you have solved for the edge pieces and your cube is going to be completed. To move the top face in a clockwise direction, this is the algorithm that you're going to perform. Now remember, this algorithm can also be done in a 4x4 Rubik's Revenge. But let me use this algorithm. In a 4x4, I'm going to show you a different algorithm to achieve the same results. So to move this edge piece from here to here, and this one from here to here, I'm moving it in a clockwise direction. This is the algorithm you're going to perform. While the correct edge piece is at the back, you hold your cube in that direction, and then you do a forward, then you do an up, then you do a left, then you do a right inverted, you do a forward, you do a left inverted, you do a right, then you do an up, and then you do a forward. Once you do that, you will realize you will have solved your 3x3 Rubik's Cube. So I hope you have enjoyed how I've solved this 3x3 Rubik's Cube. So check down below this video, you will see how I have shown you how to solve a 4x4 Rubik's Cube.